I'm Luke with Waz Up San Diego. I just had an amazing opportunity to interview Casey Nicole Fox, the founder of Life by Design magazine. So many great nuggets from this interview. She's an amazing person and entrepreneur based here in San Diego. Can't wait for you to listen. Thanks so much for tuning in to Waz Up San Diego. I'm your host, Luke Wasyliw, and today I am joined by Casey Nicole Fox, the founder and CEO of Life by Design magazine, a athlete who recently completed a Ironman. Kudos to you on that.
Thank you.
The COO of Stagella, am I saying that correct?
Yep.
Stagella, and I'm just so excited to be here with you.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
So tell me a little bit about Life by Design magazine, and it's my understanding you attended a Thrive conference and came back a couple weeks later, and here we are 2 years later, crushing it.
Yeah, so Thrive was in October of 2017, and the end of September, beginning of October. And when we went, Kevin Harrington was one of the speakers, and he mentioned that Facebook is one of the biggest places for content creation in today's world, but they don't actually create any content. We give them the content. And so my business partner turned to me and said, let's create a magazine. He's the big ideas person, and I'm the get stuff done kind of person.
Operator, get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Love it.
And so 2 weeks later, I literally, right at the conference, posted on my Facebook who wants to contribute to a magazine. And I got 30 different people who were interested in writing and contributing.
Wow.
And from there, it took 2 weeks, and we had our first rough draft edition ready to print. We took on some advice and did some tweaks and actually brought on our full-on editor who's still with us today. From there, we fully launched it 2 weeks later, the end of November, for our December 2017 edition.
You are not messing around. That is such a fast turnaround time, and I feel like that's most people's problems is just kind of analysis paralysis and never taking that first step in action.
Yeah.
So that is amazing. And so it is an entrepreneur-based magazine.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about it. What's the average reader? What are you looking at? What are the articles about, et cetera?
So our niche is entrepreneurs who want to help other entrepreneurs. So we love the vibe of San Diego and how entrepreneurial focused it is. But it kind of gets this it's tough at networking events because people just play business card frisbee, and then there's no real genuine connections.
Yes.
And it's so hard for people to break out of their shell because San Diego is such a relaxed place for people to really go out and make real, genuine business connections. And so what we did with our magazine is that once a month we have our magazine launch. So we do a print edition every single month. And so the first Monday of every month is our launch party. And at it, we do a thing called tic-tac-toe. And so people actually go around and they network and they get their name, what they need, what they're looking for. And then we actually encourage people to have coffee meetings after the event. And so time after time, we've heard people say that they've made real, genuine business connections from our events, and really genuinely found the content in it to actually benefit their business. I've personally written about 5 books, both myself and co-written, and ghost-written about 1,000 articles to about a dozen different publications. And what I found is that most publications like Huffington Post and all of these other entrepreneurial kind of publications take raw inspiration, which is great, we all need it, but they don't take how-to.
Yes.
They don't take how to do business, how to do sales, none of that.
Kind of the blueprint of how to actually implement it.
And inspiration without information leads to frustration.
Inspiration without information. I love it.
Yeah, so our vision is to have both the inspiration and the information so that people can really flourish in their businesses and in their lives.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm very impressed by that. That sounds like a great magazine.
Thank you.
And then also, tell me a little bit about Stagella, too, as well.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a conglomerate. My business partner and I, him and his wife started their first business when they were 19 and made their first million when they were 25. And now they have 10 plus corporations that each revenue 7 figures. So I manage all of those. And then on top of that, about 3 years ago, we started San Diego's largest business coaching and mastermind program, which has now grown to about 50 members. And so I am the systems of all of the big ideas. So that's what that is. And so like the photographers at the zoo, the wild animal park, and even the photographers at the Universal Studios are all owned by him and his wife. And so about 3 years ago, they decided that they wanted to leave more of an impact and to give people the resources that they've learned in business to help them become successful to other people. So.
Gotcha. So is there any kind of niche client that is the coaching client, the ideal coaching client?
So anybody who is either starting their business or looking to scale their business. Okay. Yeah, so we go over all kinds of different stuff that comes with coaching and mentorship, but our main thing is that it's more about so my story, for example, is that I had a crazy childhood and I had no idea how to be an adult, right? Hashtag adulting. And from there, I never had anybody to like really mentor me or teach me anything in life. And so when I actually met them, they took me under their wing, taught me all kinds of different business stuff, and really helped me to change my mindset so that I could actually become an entrepreneur of my own. And so, but that doesn't happen with people like just following people on YouTube, which is great. Everybody needs it. Absolutely. But everybody needs that one person who truly believes in them and can see things from a third eye view.
Absolutely. And it's great using the YouTubes and some of the different podcasts. Like I'm a huge Ed Milet and Andy Frisella and Tom Bilyeu and all these amazing people. But having that one-on-one conversation, we're like, hey, this is a problem that I'm having, in my business or in my life or whatever it is. Right now, how do you go about solving it? So having somebody to bounce that idea off of is so critical. And I was blessed when I got into the industry to have a family friend that kind of mentored me. And that's everybody who's, hey, how do I get started? What should I do? It's go find a mentor. And it's not just a take from them too as well. It's providing value. Because my mentor was super successful. But, she, a different demographic, not as savvy on the tech side and marketing, cutting edge for that. So I was able to contribute, why don't you do this, and this? And I'll actually help you do that for this because it's giving me the practical experience and the hands-on training, and it's helping her, get more business.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I like to say when it comes to mentorship, we have two hands, one to be led and one to lead. So it's always important that we're able to give that information back to other people. Absolutely. The best way to learn is to teach.
It is, and it's funny because I have kids too as well. And when she struggles with math, I'm like, go teach your younger brother how to do these problems, and it just kind of, you can see the connections happening. Right. It's amazing.
That's so awesome.
Great. So tell me, do you have any success stories with some of the coaches or anything about clients that have really kind of utilized that program and helping them grow their business?
So one of our recent clients just closed his first $50,000 client from the coaching that we gave him.
Okay, what industry? Just kind of put that a little bit of perspective on it.
So he specifically does dating coaching. But
dating coaching?
Dating coaching. So he'll go in and he'll teach people who have a hard time with dating and even talking to the opposite sex, to go in and have the confidence to achieve those goals. And so he does a bunch of different kinds of programs, but all around that specific client, he does all around the dating world. And so he holds seminars and does one-on-one coaching. He'll even go out to Vegas and they'll do like a 3-day intensive.
Wow.
But so he just closed his first $50,000 client with the coaching techniques that we gave him.
Gotcha. And just out of curiosity, is that one client who's paying or?
That's one person who's paying him $50,000 for his coaching.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but we have people in our mastermind who are all different kinds of stuff. We have photographers, we have dating coaches, we have mindset coaches. Coaching is a very popular industry. But we have all kinds of different people from all different areas. But the fundamentals of business skills are the same no matter what industry you're in.
No, I agree, absolutely. And even if sometimes you're working for an organization, getting coaching to help you kind of go up that ladder and, strategize, how do I advance my career?
Right.
So people just kind of want to do that bare minimum, and it's not the way to do it. So, not everybody's an entrepreneur, and like Gary Vee likes to say, is like, I'd rather be number 10 at Facebook than number 1 at a company that's unsuccessful. Right. So it's important for kind of everybody, I believe, too, just not just entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I agree.
So you told me you kind of had a long story from Florida, kind of came over to San Diego. You want to dive into that a little bit?
Yeah. Little heavy, but it's fine. Like I'm good with it. Okay. But I was physically, sexually, emotionally abused as a child. I was in a mental institution and then foster care, and so I had nobody to teach me anything, right? Mm-hmm. And so when I was 18, I moved to California for a guy. He ended up being emotionally abusive and actually a Satanist. Yeah, got an inverted pentagram tattooed on his chest. Yep. When that relationship ended, I was homeless. I had no friends, I had no family, I had no real income. I had one steady job, but I never knew about like putting money away so that I could have my own car or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And so very fast, I was like, well, the only thing I know how to do, says the internet, is payday loans and credit cards. And so interest rates, I started drowning even more. And so at the time, I was actually in college because my goal was to become a neuropsychologist. Wow. I love the human brain.
Fascinating.
And helping people. Yeah. And so I had to drop out of college so that I could go and make money and survive. Exactly. And so I got my second day job, and then my third, and then my fourth. And the only time I could work that day job was from like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then I would go home and I would wake up at 5 to go to my first day job of the day. And it was actually my fourth day job that I met my business partners and mentors. I was just cleaning their house, doing their dishes, doing their laundry. And one night, the wife comes up to me. I'm just doing the dishes, and she's like, "Do you want this to be the rest of your life?" I was like,
wow.
No, like who would? And so she started mentoring me in photography, which is their baby business. And I started editing photos, and then I started to pick up a camera, learn how to second shoot, and then shoot my own weddings, to eventually managing their photographers. Wow. And once I had gained that skill, then I started to manage their other companies. So.
That is amazing, and it's crazy how you're starting a job to where you're literally helping people clean their house and dishes and do all that, but they obviously saw something in you where it's like, hey, she has potential. Casey has something in her, but it takes a special person to take that initiative and go with it. Is you don't get that many opportunities, and a lot of people are like, oh, that's luck that you met that person. Like, no, it's you prepared, you did the work to get them to allow you to do all those other things too as well. When
I would clean their house, I would fold the toilet paper like they do in the hotels. Yes. Like everything I do in my life, like ever, has always been about excellence. Just doing the best that I could possibly do in the moment.
I love it.
And so that's really the work ethic that they saw in me that really helped them to see that I had the capability to be more, which I couldn't even see in myself, which is why mentors are so important, because a lot of times they see that in us when we don't see it ourselves.
It's so true, to where people don't know, they just think everybody has these gifts and these talents. And I struggled with that myself in the past, to where I'm very good at certain things, but it's like, no, everybody's good at that. And it's really, at the time I was working for a company, like, no, Luke, like 99% of people can't do this. Like, you are excellent at it. And it really takes time to, I'm kind of at a loss for words, to just build your own confidence. And it's so important, the mindset, which you kind of already talked about too. Yeah. Mindset is number one, the most important thing, I feel like, and that's something that I'm trying to help kind of teach others, because if you have a negative attitude and you don't have that growth mindset to where you are where you are now, but it's just progressing. Right. If you just get a little bit better each day, over the long term, it's going to compound, and it's going to put you in places that you never thought possible.
So true. So Tony Robbins actually does this like exercise when he does like large groups. He'll have everybody in the room like pick the color red. Everybody count how many red things you see in a room. Count, 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 count. He's like, all right, do you guys have it? Yell out red. How many red things did you see? And then he says, how many green? The room is silent. He says, all right, let's try it again. How many yellow? Everybody pick yellow. Pick yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, yell out how many yellow you got. How many blue? Nothing. He says, what you focus on is what you get.
Yeah. It's the vision board too as well. And God, I just listened to a Tom Bilyeu podcast too as well. John Assaraf.
Oh yeah, he's great.
It's phenomenal. That was the first time I've ever been exposed to him. Like, how have I never heard of this guy before? But that was kind of one big thing that really resonated with me is that vision board. And if you don't have your goal and you don't have clear, definitive ways of getting there, you're never going to get there. It's just like when a ship leaves the harbor. If you don't have a destination, you might get there 1 in a million,
right?
Just by dumb luck.
Yeah.
But it's crazy that people kind of go through life, and I was guilty of it too when I was younger, of not having that clear goal, defining it, and going after it because you can get it.
Yeah,
100%.
it's true. It's true.
So.
The Jack Canfield, the Chicken Soup for the Soul, with the guy who co-wrote them. I listened a few years back. I heard him in a conference, and he was talking about how like visualization and like having that kind of thing. And so he was talking about how he visualized, just for the sake of the all the conferences he would do, this condo on the beach of Hawaii. And I might be butchering the story, but so he would do this every single conference that he spoke, had everybody visualize the condo in Hawaii. And he was talking about how about a year ago, like from that moment, he actually had a friend basically give him the deed to his condo in the beach in Hawaii.
Interesting.
Right. Just like, even though he wasn't even like really emotionally invested in it, but the fact that every single day he visualized that goal, right, of the condo on the beach in Hawaii, he got it. It basically handed to him.
Figures out a way to get it to you.
Yeah.
It's not like the book The Secret, where it's like, oh, I'm going to visualize this and it's going to come. Like, you got to put in the work.
Right.
But you also have to have that subconscious mind thinking about it, and then no matter, it's that perfect example of red,
right?
And then if you're not looking for yellow, you're not going to notice it.
You're not going to see it. Yeah. So if you focus on the negativity in your life and in your past, then that's all you're going to get moving forward is more negativity.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm fascinated too. Triathlete.
Yes.
Ironman.
Yes.
Tell me about that. What got you to want to do it? Because it's funny, because I have kind of a goal, and that is on there.
Yeah. You should do it.
I know, and I hate excuses too as well. My wife's pregnant; she's due in December, so I haven't had nearly as much time. Which again, I don't want to be that excuse maker, and I'm going to go home and like come up with an actionable plan.
Yeah.
I'll probably just go and actually book it. That's probably step one. So even if it's 9 months out, it's like, okay, step one, check.
Yeah.
But what got you to do it? Want to do it? How was it?
Yeah, so I've always been a runner.
Okay.
In high school, track, cross country,
Awesome.
soccer, and so when I started to actually like make goals for my life, I always wanted to do like triathlons and marathons and stuff like that. So I've done a handful of half marathons, both like off-roading ones and regular ones. Done a few like other kind of stuff, but about 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago, I did like a 1, 3, 5, and 10 and 20-year goals. And on my 5-year goal was to complete an Ironman. And so I made a plan for how many half marathons and how many like triathlons I needed to complete in order to build up to it. And so I turned 26 in October, and so I was like, you know what, this is the last chance for me to achieve my goal. And so I bought the ticket, and I did all the training, and I committed to it. I'm kind of an extremist, so if it's probably not what most people would do, I'm probably going to do it.
Yeah.
My next 5-year goal is to climb Mount Everest. But yeah, so I did the Ironman, and it was one of the most difficult things that I've ever done in my life. I'd never done an ocean swim before, and so the 1.2 open water swim was in the ocean.
Yeah.
And I actually had a panic attack when I went in the water.
Wow.
Because I felt like I wasn't moving, and then I had all of the emotions of like, well, I paid for this, and I'm here, and I'm gonna give up, and so it's really what you focus on, right? And so I just said, you know what, I'm gonna take a breath. I rolled over on my back, did a couple of backstrokes, and just like, you know what, if they have to tow me out of the water, I'm gonna at least try. And so I did. I tried, and I finished before the time cutoff for the swim, because each one has their own individual cutoff, and then a cutoff as a whole too.
A cutoff as a what?
As a whole, yeah. So you have to finish within 8.5 hours. And then the swim, you have to do it within an hour and 10 minutes, and then the bike and so on and so forth.
Gotcha.
So of the 1,000 people who paid and went, 300 of them were disqualified or did not finish. Wow. And so I actually finished.
Congratulations
Thank
on that.
you.
That is amazing.
But actually that day, so it was on Sunday, last Sunday.
As in
wow. The 15th, yeah.
Okay.
And that night I got on a plane and I went to Vegas and I got certified in hypnosis. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, lot.
Hypnosis, what kind of got you to do that? Tell me a little bit.
Well, so my background was I always wanted to be like a therapist, right, to help people with their emotional problems. And so what I realized was that if I go through and I get my doctorate, that's 10 years of student loan debt, and people will have a therapist for like 3, 5, 10 years and never actually achieve anything. Hypnotists can get people to quit smoking who've been smoking for 20 years in 15 minutes.
That's mind-blowing.
Yeah, and because it's all working with the subconscious. And so I realized that that's really how I can help the people that I want to help in my life with that kind of thing. And also like my much bigger vision and whatnot. So it'll actually help me to help more people in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what is your 20-year vision at this point, or 10-year vision? 5 years you want to do Mount Everest. What's your next long-term
as a whole
achievement? Yeah.
So one of my goals in life is to help end sex trafficking and end abuse as a whole. And and you do that through healing the people who will end up abusing more people, right? And so the unfortunate thing about abuse as a whole is that a lot of times when people don't handle like their own issues, they then go hurt other people, hurt people. Yeah. And so the only way to stop the system is to heal the ones before they hurt anybody else. Wow. And so hypnosis is going to help me with that, because then I can have seminars and like heal people as a whole, and at least give them the tools to go out and heal other people. So.
Wow, that is amazing.
Thank you.
Well, very exciting. Well, again, so tell me, your event is October 7th,
yeah,
I believe?
So our next mixer is October 7th, and the one following is November 11th. And so those are, we have about 70, 80 people who show up, and they're for entrepreneurs who are looking to grow and expand and even meet other business partners.
Okay, and if they want to sign up, how do they just go to lifebydesignmagazine.com?
Our website is lbdmagazine.com.
Okay, perfect. And if they want to reach out to you on social media and other platforms, what's kind of the best way for viewers to do so?
So my whole name is Casey Nicole Fox, so just at CASEYNICOLEFOX. That's Instagram and Facebook.
Well, perfect. Well, again, thank you so much for joining us for Waz Up San Diego, and have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Just had an amazing interview with Casey Nicole Fox. As a reminder, you should join us for the networking event on October 7th. Feel free to check out the event details on our website, lbdmagazine.com. If you have any questions or topics that you would like covered on Waz Up San Diego, please feel free to email lukesellssd@gmail.com. Thanks.